Hello, my crafty friends. Today we're finishing the grouping of the names of Jesus that were given to us in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, in our study of the names of Jesus. In this book, All the Messianic Prophecies of the Bible by Herbert Lockyer. And I'm going to go ahead and read. I'm going to go ahead and read some in this book, and then we'll go through our Bible verses, and then I'll read a little bit more. All the foregleams or prophecies of the coming Messiah in the Old Testament scriptures are taken up with the idea that peace, not war, is characteristic of his ideal kingdom. That is why peace dominates so many Messianic prophecies. Such a hope was embodied in the name David gave his son Absalom, which means father of peace. The name Solomon likewise implies peaceful. I don't know who John Trapp is, but he says here, old John Trapp uses the phrase pacis omnimoda, suggesting all kinds of peace, outward, inward, of country or of conscience, temporal or eternal. And Jesus, as Prince of all the aspect of peace, has full power to bestow them upon mankind. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6 says, For a child will be born to us, a son will be given, and the government will rest on his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Eternal Father, Prince of Peace. And the Prince of Peace is what we're studying today. Psalms 72, verses 2 and 3 says, May he judge your people with righteousness, and your humble with justice. Let the mountains bring peace, or the mountains will bring peace to the people, in the hills in righteousness. Micah 5, verses 2 through 5 says, But as for you, Bethlehem, Ephrathah, you too little to be among the clans of Judah. From you one will go forth for me to be a ruler in Israel. His goings forth are from long ago, from the days of eternity. Therefore he will give them up until the time when she who has labored has borne a child. Then the remainder of his brethren will return to the sons of Israel, and he will arise and shepherd his flock, in the strength of the Lord, in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God, and they will remain, because at that time he will be great to the ends of the earth. This one will be our peace. This one will be our peace. And I think that's what this is all about. Jesus is our peace. Zechariah chapter 9, verses 9 and 10 says, Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout in triumph, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming to you. He is just, or vindicated and victorious, and coming to you. He is just and endowed with salvation. And the other thing you could say is vindicated and victorious and endowed with salvation. Humble and mounted on a donkey, even on a colt, the foal of a donkey. I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim, and the horse from Jerusalem, and the bow of war will be cut off. And he will speak peace to the nations, and his dominion will be from sea to sea, and from the river to the ends of the earth. The fulfillment of these prophecies, or foregleams, as he calls them earlier, Luke 2, verses 8 through 14 says, In the same region there were some shepherds staying out in the fields and keeping watch over their flock by night. And an angel of the Lord suddenly stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terribly frightened. But the angel said to them, Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy, which will be for all the people. For today in the city of David there has been born for you a Savior, who is Christ the Lord, or who is the Messiah. This will be a sign for you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger. And suddenly there appeared with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among men with whom he is pleased. And then John 16, verses 25 through 33 says, "These things I have spoken to you in figurative language." This is Jesus talking. "An hour is coming when I will no longer speak to you in figurative language, but will tell you plainly of the Father. In that day you will ask in my name, and I do not say to you that I will request of the Father on your behalf, for the Father himself loves you, because you have loved me and have believed that I came forth from the Father. I came forth from the Father and have come into the world. I am leaving the world again and going to the Father." His disciples said, "Lo, now you are speaking plainly and are not using a figure of speech. Now we know that you know all things and have no need for anyone to question you. By this we believe that you came from God." And Jesus answered them, "Do you now believe? Behold, an hour is coming and has already come for you to be scattered, each to his own home, and to leave me alone. And yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. These things I have spoken to you, so that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulation, but take courage. I have overcome the world." And then John 20, verses 19 through 21 says, "So when it was evening on that day, the first day of the week, and when the doors were shut where the disciples were for fear of the Jews," and this is after he's already been resurrected, "Jesus came and stood in their midst and said to them, 'Peace be with you.' And when he had said this, he showed them both his hands and his side. The disciples then rejoiced when they saw the Lord. So Jesus said to them again, 'Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I also send you.'" And then John 20, verses 24 through 29. "But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples were saying to him, 'We have seen the Lord.' But he said to them, 'Unless I see in his hands the imprint of the nails, and put my fingers into the place of the nails, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe.'" After 8 days his disciples were again inside, and Thomas was with them. Jesus came, the doors having been already shut, and stood in their midst and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Reach here with your finger and see my hands, and reach here your hand and put it into my side, and do not be unbelieving but believing." Thomas answered him and said, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said to him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are they who did not see me, but have yet believed." And then Ephesians 2, 13 through 18 says, "But now in Jesus Christ, you who formerly were far off have been brought near by the blood of Christ. For he himself is our peace, who made both groups into one and broke down the barrier of the dividing wall." He's talking about the Jews and Gentiles, the Jewish and Gentile believers. "By abolishing in his flesh the enmity, which is the law of the commandments contained in the ordinances, so that in himself he might make the two into one new man, establishing peace, and might reconcile them both into one body to God through the cross, by it having put to death the enmity. He came and preached peace to you who were far away, and peace to those who were near. For through him we both have our access in one Spirit to the Father." And then here it says, "Christ became our peace, that he might reconcile sinners unto God. And in his teaching he re-echoes the voice of prophecy." And this is from Isaiah 27, verse 5. "Let him take hold of my strength, that he may make peace with me, and he shall make peace with me." Sometimes sinners are urged to make peace with their God. And this really struck me as something I had not ever thought about it like this before. So I was really, this little piece I'm fixing to read right here, I think is, listen carefully. This is the crux of the whole thing. Sometimes sinners are urged to make their peace with God, but such is impossible as it is unnecessary. Peace has been made by the blood of the cross. The Savior is our peace, and in accepting him we possess the peace that he procured and is. It is only, as the hymn puts it, the blood of Jesus that whispers peace within. This is the peace the world cannot give nor take away. Peace with God, peace from God, and peace in God. I thought that was wonderful. The verses that I'm going to use for this page is John 16:33. It says, "These things I have spoken to you, so that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulation, but take courage. I have overcome the world." So I will, I may have Hannah cut that out and ink it for me so I can put it on the page, because I can't do it. But in fact, I'm going to set it aside here because she's going to come out in a few minutes and she's going to help me. Let's put my cross back in here. This, she's going to be here in case so I won't do something and make a mistake and use my arm. This is the page, today's page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to watercolor something that, that Hannah drew for me. And that's going to be our page. This was her inspiration piece. It's an olive branch. And this is what she painted. I mean, what she inked up for me. So it's an olive branch with the word shalom. And she's right now in the house writing up the why she chose to do shalom instead of peace. And and then she'll be out in a minute and we'll move on. I don't guess I need that now. So I'm going to pause for a minute and be right back. Okay, I am not sure how this video is going to turn out. I'm not sure what part got recorded and what didn't. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, this is where we are right now. And this is our illustration. And just in case the part where I was explaining what this is didn't get recorded, this is shalom, which Hannah had, when I asked her to do something about Jesus being the Prince of Peace, then she looked up the Hebrew for peace in that verse, and shalom was the word they used. And so let me go ahead and read that again, just in case I didn't get it on the last one. The most basic translation of shalom is a state of completeness or wholeness. The word refers to something complex, a people, government, a man's flocks, a relationship in a state of wholeness. Used as a verb, which means to bring this wholeness or to restore. It can be used to describe making reparation or mending a relationship. And then we're putting a link to the word studies video on shalom for the Bible Project on YouTube. So you may have heard that twice, or maybe that was the only time you heard it. I don't know. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. Until I put all these little pieces together, I won't know where I messed up. So what up a little bit. Okay. All right. One more olive, and then we're gonna work on the lettering, I think, a little bit while this dries and before we put second coats on stuff. Okay. And you said you thought this magenta would be good for the words? Or are you changing your mind now?
I still think it would look nice. It's a very pretty color.
Yeah.
I don't want you to pick the color only because I said I thought it would look nice.
Well, let me see if I can put that little bit of paint. I don't know if it'll work or not. Nope. Okay. I tried.
It's just a permanent resident.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't forget to paint in the branch.
I won't. I'm just waiting till
Yeah, that's smart.
the olives dry a little bit. The I was thinking that Payne's gray might be pretty for the lettering too, but in really dark. Or do you think it'll be look dingy rather than? I'm just gonna go with your magenta. That's your instinct. So.
Yeah. Honestly, I just think it should be happy.
It should be happy.
This is a happy thing.
It's a happy thing. Okay. So.
Though I will admit, I rarely feel the urge to use pink. So.
Do you think this should be really pigmented or?
That looks pretty pale, as it is. Would you say right there on the palette?
Yeah.
I would just start with that. You can always go over it twice if you decide it didn't work out.
Okay. Can you move that palette for me for a minute?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think that's going to be pretty.
Aw. Yeah. I made that sound a lot in this video.
Well, maybe that part was cut out.
Yeah. I wonder if your bit where you said I sounded like a proud parent was cut out.
I don't know. We'll have to see when we go back and look at it. I don't know what got cut out. Okay. Not sure why, but this is a little stressful. It shouldn't be more stressful, but it is.
Words somehow feel more precise.
Yeah, they do. Even if they're not in my language, they still feel more like they should be perfect.
Yeah. Oh, but you do really well.
Oh, thanks.
I really like that color, actually.
I do too. I'm glad you suggested it because never ever would I have decided to do that if I was just choosing myself.
Which is kind of funny because when you think about it, if I had to guess the odds on just painting in general, you would probably pick to use that red
Before
more
you.
often than I would.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. You've never been a pink girl. Well, except for those couple of ballet years.
Yes, I was indoctrinated successfully for about 2.5 years, probably.
Yeah, from 4 to 6.
Mm. And then I just kind of quit liking pink again.
Yeah. I think you thought pink went with ballet.
Oh.
And when you weren't interested in ballet anymore, then
I didn't need pink.
I didn't need pink anymore. Um, I don't. Some of you, I may have told this story. I'm not sure, but when Hannah was like even just 6 months old, if I pulled a pink dress um, out of the closet for her to wear, she would cry. And then when she could talk, she would say, "No pink, no pink, no pink," except when she wanted to do ballet. Are you not happy with what you're doing over there?
My hair is not working out.
I'm sorry.
Can't decide if it looks like natural or messy or like there should be birds living in it or like I just don't know.
I don't think it's quite messy enough for birds to live in it, but
Okay, that's good.
but it looks
Disheveled?
yes, that's the
Okay.
word.
That's good because I was going for slightly disheveled, but not Radagast, the brown. You know.
Yeah.
No bird nests as hats. Hopefully. That funny little T looking thing at the bottom is also part of the lettering.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm just that's a little bit more precise. So I want to do everything else first. And
No, I figured I mean, it's kind of silly for me to tell you because I can't figure out what else it would be, but just those weird accent marks Roman letters don't have. We have plenty, but most of them don't go underneath the letters.
That's true. Do any of them go underneath the letters?
I don't know because I haven't like looked up an authoritative list of Roman character accent marks.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Well, I mean, like they have a lot for, or like French and German and stuff like that use a lot to denote what they sound like because non-languages use the same alphabet and it's really complicated.
Yeah. It looks orangier on the camera.
Yes, well, we can assure you that in real life it's very pretty.
It's very magenta. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
All right. I think I'm gonna do some of the branch now. So what would you suggest for the branch?
Probably that.
At least for a first layer?
Yeah.
Okay. But tone down?
Yes.
Dilute, Mom. Dilute.
Well, you know my affinity for, I guess, trying to make sure I have as much control as possible.
How's that?
That's
right
good.
Up there. Okay.
Is it weird to be asking someone for their running commentary on what you're painting?
A little bit.
You'd probably want to use the small brush.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not.
No, you're probably
right.
right.
I want the small brush.
You're probably right. Okay, gotta get that out of the way. All right.
That makes the hair look a bit better.
Yeah.
I gotta just leave it for now and not worry about it. Mostly just drawing to draw, you know.
Well, you're being nice and sitting out here with me, so you Might as well keep yourself occupied.
I like being here, though.
I'm glad.
I should probably talk more.
No,
I'm usually really good at that. You might not know, because I don't do strangers very well. But really, I am a talker.
She's good at talking to me. No, you're doing fine. I guess the second layer on the leaves is what I need to do next.
Yeah. I think actually,
Yeah.
if I were, and you may want the contrasting color to see how they play with each other.
Yeah.
But I'd probably mix a bit of this in with this.
Bit of what?
A bit of this in with this.
Okay.
Just to kind of bring the neon look down.
Yeah.
A touch.
I agree. Okay. So should I let this dry before I do work on the leaves, or just go ahead?
I'd probably let it dry a bit. Just because it'll be real frustrating if it bleeds into the stalk.
It would be.
You've got some shading quite down near there, so.
Okay, I'm going to pause, and hopefully this time I'll really pause. Okay, I'm going to try to put in some of this darker kind of bluish green on the leaves. Which makes it looks to me like it needs to be watered down, and then the whole leaf watered down, and then try to just lay a little bit of that color in one place and let it bleed out.
Yeah. So you're going to want to probably mix it first, I would guess.
Okay.
You want to carry it over to one of those wells so that you don't have it in either of these?
I don't know. What do you think? Are you okay with that?
I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't think it would necessarily be a problem, but if you want to keep that one clean,
Yeah.
You can mix over here, but not one of these is really clean except for that one. Scrape out the dust.
Okay. Okay. Is that a good mix, you think? Or is it too green? I think it's too much of that?
Yeah, I think there's too much of that.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought too. And because I got so much in there now, it's going to be hard to actually use that lightly. So I may bring some of it over here into the corner and then water it down.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much I want it watered down, actually.
Yeah, but you did cut the blue pretty well, though.
Yeah. And I have plenty of it. I just need to add it over here and add water to it. Okay, but I think I'm gonna at least try one where I just wet it down, and then add that in and see what I think. Okay, let's see. Oh, no. No, I don't like it.
Yeah. Not go as planned.
No, it did not. It doesn't look dark enough. It looks too... Maybe I need to add in some dark blue. Okay.
We can try.
That's too much blue, probably.
It's hard to tell. This picture was a lot bigger than the one you're working with. I'm guessing.
I think I'm going to try that.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try it again. I think that's better. What do you think?
Oh, that's much better.
Okay.
Not quite sure what it did, but it's much better.
Yeah, me either, but hopefully there's enough of it. Oh, I need clear water. And I'm not going to do all of them with that because there's a lot of them that are just mostly yellow.
Yeah. Probably want to get the ones that are underneath the others.
As the dark ones. That's true. And that one wasn't on top one. I wasn't thinking.
That's okay. Some of the on top ones are darker too. Some right out near the stem, they're just darker. Because they are.
Let's start with this one up here because it's had less water on my brush when I did it.
I don't know why I decided to do the shading when I have the hair drawn. I don't know.
Okay. Let's try this one down here. Okay, this is what they're looking like right now. This is the picture I'm working from. I'm going to have to add some more, I think, a little bit darker later, but right now, I think I'm going to be happy with that. Can't see which one I wet. I think it's this one.
Ooh. Those look nice. That's cool. I like that one.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, that one turned out really good. I didn't have as much water on that brush as I thought I did. Okay, do you think I should do a couple more or let that be?
Get a couple, one down here and one of these. That one.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the ones down at the base. Don't know why. Just so I think you're right. I don't know.
Just needs to look balanced or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you haven't figured it out yet, we're not quite sure what we're doing.
it's the I don't know, I was starting to say the blind leading the blind, but it's not, because Hannah knows a lot more than I do, but it's the amateur leading the newbie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
I think I took too much water off for fear of leaving too much on. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to, I think, play with putting some yellows in on some of them. What do you think?
That'll look good.
Yellow or just yellow with green?
I would try this one.
All right.
And I just put the yellow in because some of them are pretty yellow in places.
Okay, that's true, they do.
I'm starting to understand the appeal of toned paper. Makes your negative space look not quite so harsh. I think this is looking like a photo where someone turned the contrast way up.
Okay, I think I'm gonna pause the video and just keep going and then show you it at the end, because we've spent way too much time with you having to watch this as it is. So be right back.
Remember.
Okay, here is the painting, the finished painting, and here is the inspiration. And just in case, the part where I wasn't filming when I thought I was filming was the part where I told you that Hannah's offered this PDF of this drawing, and it's going to be in the description box below, so you can go there and have it and do what you want to with it, and God bless you. And I hope that you have a day of peace. Bye-bye.